friends, this is Janet with Funtographymakes, and today I'm coming on to do a little share and then a project. So first with the share, I got my Kindred stamps in from their new release. This guy's not new, but she was there and I really wanted to have her in my collection. So this is called Wonderful. Just a little single stamp there. This is the second stamp set that I got from the release. So this is A Family Can Be Scary. And you should recognize these little characters here. So these are fun, especially during Halloween. And then I got this. This is a big stamp set. Look how big these figures are too. These are called Ghoul Friends, which are so cute. So these are all the little characters. And today, this is what I am going to be using to show you this really fun technique of how to make stamps a little bit more fun. So I'm going to color these off screen, cut them out, and then I will start the tutorial. Okay, I have all my stamps stamped out, and with a little bit of magic, voila, they're colored. So I thought I would just quickly share what I used for my coloring, and then we can move on to what I'm actually wanting to show you. So we'll start with this character here. I used these two greens, YG23 and YG05 for his hat. And then for his body and all the dark black color, I use C7 and C5. So those are the colors I use for my black. And then for my faces and my snout, I used E21 and E00. Can you see those? Are they in focus? There we go. Now they're focusing. Sorry about that. For the inside of my mouths, just to give a little bit of color, I'm using W02. Okay, for my purples, I'm using V17 and V15. And then also for my lime green, I'm using YG23. Okay, for my doggy, I am using FYR1 for my fluorescent orange. And then for his body, I am using YR24. And then I just added a little bit of coloring in his white robe with the W0. Okay, for this character here, I am using R29 for his cape and B24 for his shirt. Because I felt like he needed a blue shirt. I don't know. And then for his snout, I'm using YR16 for my orange. Okay. So that is mostly him. And then for the top mouse here, I'm using these two oranges for his hat. So YR16 and FYR1. I'm sorry. There you go. I'm using the same dark gray colors for his head. And then for his little trousers, I am using, I believe it was, I don't know what browns it was. I think it was, for some reason, I feel like it's these two. I don't know which two browns I used. I think it was this. I know I used E23 for his cape, along with another color, and I think it was E57. So those are usually two browns I use together. So I'm assuming that's the colors I used for that. And then for his trousers, I ended up using, these two colors. E19 and E39, so it gave him like a little bit of a reddish brown trouser. Okay, and then I just used the orange for his overcoat. And then for my my mouse girl here, I used these two colors for her broom, so Y17 and YR12. So that's just a little overview in case you were curious what markers I used and colors. If you guys want a tutorial on how I colored these, I'll gladly do one. But on to the fun part. Okay, so what you're going to need is your stamped images. I have cut these out on my brother's Scan and Cut. So here's what they look like cut out. You're going to need a watermark ink pad. So this is just like a sticky clear ink. I'm using embossing powder and sticky. This is Ranger. And I'm also using this Crystal Glitter Ritz, so like a micro fine glitter. You can use any kind of glitter. This is transparent, so you can see through it, and it has a cool highlight in it. They have cool and warm. So I'm going to be using my heat gun and a coffee filter and a piece of paper for all of my parts. So let's start. Oh, and I'm using tweezers to so when I heat my image, I don't burn my fingers. All right. So I'm going to start with my VersaFine ink pad. I'm going to take one of my images. I'm going to do her. And seriously, face down. And I'm going to put embossing ink all over my image. You want to make sure this is nicely covered because you're going to be putting the sticky embossing powder on top. So we're just going to give this a nice press. And we can look at it in the light and make sure we've hit everything. I think you can see like a little bit of a sheen on there. So this looks pretty good to me. Just going to press her face just a little bit more. Okay. So now you're going to lay your image in your embossing. You're going to sprinkle the embossing powder on top. So what's important to know about the embossing powder is not to over melt this. You want it to be sticky. If you heat it too long, it becomes clear embossing powder. So that's super important to know when you are doing this technique. Because otherwise your glitter won't stick. All right, so I'm going to get my tweezers here. I'm going to pick like a little spot, and then I'm going to heat emboss this. Okay, so she should be sticky. I'm just going to dump my rest of my embossing powder back in the jar. I try to stay as neat as possible when I'm doing this. It's sometimes hard because you're working with powder, but we will make do. Okay, and then I'm going to get my piece of paper here, and I'm going to sprinkle my glitter all over my image. Okay. Give her a little tap. I missed her foot down here. And I could tell it's sticking because you can see the glitter on there. So we're going to hit this with our heat gun once more and just heat it enough so that it sets. Okay, so the next step is let this cool for a second. I'm going to put the glitter back in the jar so it cools down just for a second. Okay. All right, so I'm going to lay her down here, and I'm just going to take my finger and rub the glitter in so that the glitter lays flat. Now, this is a good time to tell if you overheated your sticky embossing powder. Mine feels pretty good. She's a little sticky still, though. I'm not sure why. So I'm just gonna heat this little section up that's a little bit sticky. The rest of it isn't sticky, but this piece is sticky. So that's a good way to know if it's complete. But once she's done, look at this glitter. Can you tell? Oh yeah, you can tell a little bit. But isn't that beautiful? So let me pull in the others that I completed. Here's the little puppy dog. And then here's the devil. See all that glitter? And then here is a big silly looking dog. There he is. So in person, these are so pretty. And obviously you can do these with any kind of images. You're just adding a little bit of a glittery touch to make them something special. So I hope you enjoyed the little tutorial today and how I made these. And I hope you try it on your own. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've ever tried this technique before, this is something I saw a long time ago when I first started card making. And they used it on napkins. And I've loved the technique ever since. So yeah, that is my tutorial for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.